Hello one and all, this is my reaction and review to Dr. Stone New World Episode 4. And last episode, holy mother of God above, last episode was intense, as we finally had the introduction of the Y-Man, the person who Senku believes was responsible for the entire world being petrified 3,000 years ago. And you know, everyone else is like, oh my god, I'm so scared. Who is this weird person? What is this entity? Whereas Senku just straight up started threatening him and insulting him. Oh, that is so Senku. That is so absolutely Senku. And now this episode we'll get to see, you know, everyone else's reactions to the mysterious Y-Man. Who are they? What do they want? And how could Senku and his gang possibly find a way to overcome them? So excited, but let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, like I said, people are really freaked out about this. Especially poor little adorable Suka. Okay, if there's another group of survivors out there, I don't think they just say why over and over and over again, and then refuse to talk when Senku, you know, spoke back to them. That seems pretty unlikely. And that's not really a distress signal. Why would you say why? You would say SOS or whatever. Saying why over and over again, just weird. Really, really weird. Also, I do just love, this is, again, I keep saying this every video, one-to-one from the anime. This is exactly how it looks. Just like full page or, you know, full vertical page spread of them going up and being like, what do you think the deal with the Y-Man is? Oh, I don't know. What do you think the deal with the Y-Man is? That is just so cool to see fully animated. I absolutely love that. It is weird how both Taiju and Francois agree on this. They both believe that the right thing to do is just not think about it and get their own work done. Oh, that is beautiful. Yes, the 5 most brilliant people in the entire kingdom of science, and possibly the entire freaking world. I mean, there's a pretty interesting mix of figures here. I mean, we have Chrome, who, you know, spent most of his life fully ignorant of the power of science and believed that everything he did was magic. We have Ryu, who, I suppose you'd call him a genius. He's more the money behind things, but, you know, he has a lot of skills, especially when it comes to sailing, that does make him, you know, a necessary genius of the scientific world. We have Jen, who, yeah, wouldn't really say he's a genius, but he knows enough about people and how to manipulate them, where you could, you know, kind of call him a genius. Ukyo, Ukyo's smart. Ukyo's pretty smart. He's also like a sonar, radar, whatever, tactician, so that gives him a lot of knowledge that could be useful down the road. And of course, Senku is, you know, the true genius of the Kingdom of Science right there. Our generals. Oh, I love that. I absolutely, oh, especially because she says, well, I'm not so sure about Chrome. The rest of them, though, they are our generals. They will lead us into the glorious warfare and battle to come. Huzzah! Actually, in the manga, she says that the jury's still out on Chrome, though. He's smart, but his personality leaves something to be desired. Oh, that was cruel. That was so, so cruel. Especially when, you know, he was right there and could hear her mocking him. Oh, God. Now I'm worried. Now you're worried. Oh, that is beautiful. I mean, that's the dude you're kinda sorta in love with, and his inclusion in this council is what has you worried. Oh, that's beautiful. That's also, yeah, that's anime original. Interesting. Yeah, you don't really need to go over that. Everyone is very well aware of the fact that, you know, the whole world was petrified. That's kind of, you know, the premise of this series. Oh, God, that shot always makes me so sad. of the dog tied to a leash, just waiting and begging for his owner to come back to life. Oh, that is depressing. Though I think the author did mention in one of the physical releases of the manga that the dog managed to chew through his leash eventually, and he is in fact Chalk's ancestor. You know, Suka's adorable little dog, that is his ancestor right there. Oh, fascinating. Yes, we are now calling him the Y-Man. I may have jumped the gun a bit in that calling him that last episode, but he's a dude who keeps saying Y over and over again. So Y-Man, that's a pretty appropriate title. I mean, that is a very interesting, possibility. The Y-Man could have petrified himself 3,000 years ago, and then every, year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever, he wakes up, is like, alright, the rest of the world still petrified? Awesome, I'm going back to sleep. And it's not like the preparation will go to waste. I mean, that's a big thing about the Kingdom of Science. Everything they do can be recycled down the road. Like, for instance, they took apart the car to make the refrigerator they use to freeze Tsukasa. So, yeah, even if they end up overpowering, even if the Y-Man isn't a threat, their preparation to combat him down the road will still be useful for other things. Yeah, this doesn't help. I mean, Senku spends quite a while just insulting them over and over and over again, while everyone else in the boat just looked on in complete and absolute horror. Oh, that is such a freaking Senku move right there, and I absolutely love it. And again, 1 for 1 from the manga right there. I just so love how accurate the series is being to the manga. I know I keep saying that over and over, but it's so true. I mean, that's pretty useful. I mean, Kawaku's eyes are already insanely impressive. If you give her a telescope, she can probably see all the way to the freaking moon. Oh, well, I mean, I guess anyone can, with a telescope, can see all the way to the moon. She can probably see all the way to America from Japan. Why not? Oh, it is a truly terrifying day when Kohaku is right about science. Truly, truly terrifying. Oh, I love that. I absolutely love them posing in unison. Yeah, we're the power team! Yeah! Seriously, if Taiju didn't already have Yuzu, I would be so badly shipping him with this girl, whose name I have fully forgotten. Sorry, girl. Wait, no, her name is Nikki. Okay, I remember her name. It's Nikki. Huzzah! Oh god, they didn't even wait. They didn't even wait. They just fully went to work. Oh, I love the power team. I absolutely love them. That's a pretty good idea. Actually turn the thing on, and maybe you'll understand what it can do. Smart girl, Suka. Absolutely smart move. Oh, I love this. I absolutely love this. They are going so over the top for something that is just going to disappoint every single one of them. Even Ukyo, who should fully know what this is by now. It was kind of, his job. Cathode ray tube acquired. Huzzah! I mean, that's actually a fairly good point right there. What would happen to them if Senku had actually lost it? If Senku had actually gone insane? I mean, that's the thing. Senku, everything he says sounds insane. Not only to the, Stone Agers, but also the modern day people. They're like, this is ridiculous. This is insane. So what happened if Senku actually lost his freaking mind? How long would it take them to really notice that? Yeah, okay, he may have actually gone insane here. Though I do fully love this shot of Senku being a wizard, and I now want a spin-off series of, Senku's adventures in a world where he is just a full-on freaking sorcerer, baby! I mean, I don't think it'd be all that different from how it is now. That would actually, honestly, I'm really thinking about this right now, and it would honestly be amazing. Senku's like, yes, I may be the weakest wizard, but I have the power of science with the power of magic, and as a result, I can make a death ray far deadlier than any other death ray even the best wizards can create with all their insane magical abilities. Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be so much freaking fun. I've got my mind intact just barely. I mean, that is fair. He did wake up, 3,000 years in the future and managed to stay awake for that entire freaking period. I mean, that's gonna take a toll on anybody's, mental health. Let's also forget the fact that he lost his father and everybody else he knew in the old world, besides Taiju and Yuzu, so yeah, for Senku just to be, just barely intact is pretty freaking impressive. Like, I actually really do like this shot. I was in the manga too. But what I really like about it is the fact that, this is Senku basically doing the same thing he did to make Suka's glasses, and now she's helping him out with it. Oh, that is precious. That is so freaking precious right there. Okay, I actually understood that a lot better than I did when trying to read the manga. Fascinating. I mean, I've actually had this debate before. What is better for teaching science? The manga or the anime? And, I mean, for terms of, visual display, sometimes the anime is definitely better, but I do feel like the manga, you're able to go back and reread the paragraph over and over again. It's like, oh, I get how this works. More than just hearing Senku explain it once, then moving on to the next scene. It gives you time to really stop and think. Though, of course, I am aware of the irony of saying that when I've literally just paused the episode to talk about it. Anyway, though, let's get back into it and see Ukyo realize that he has been a complete idiot for not realizing what exactly this was. Well, you have a one-line crystal TV. I wouldn't really call that, full-on TV quite yet. Yeah, Ukyo, this was your entire freaking job. How did it take you this long to realize what it was Senku was making? Though, of course, Senku probably should have asked Ukyo for some feedback on this. I know this is something Senku knows fairly well, but Ukyo is the freaking goddamn expert here. Yeah, you gotta laugh. You have got to laugh at yourself, because even though you are a sonar operator, you couldn't figure this out. Honestly, kind of feel like Ryu should have figured it out as well. I mean, he's not necessarily a sonar technician, but he used, sonar a lot on his own boats, probably. I mean, he has a, world-famous captain. Not gonna lie, when I first saw this scene, I was 100% convinced that the next chapter, the next few arcs would be discovering the Y-Man's base deep underwater, where he had a full civilization of science people working for him. And not necessarily saying that isn't the case, but I fully believed it at this point in the story. God, the Y-Man is terrifying. Fully terrifying. A fish finder. I honestly don't know how fishermen actually work out in the open sea, but I've never heard of them using a sonar to locate fish before. I don't know, maybe they do. This just seems so utterly ridiculous to me, and I fully loved it. Also, I think Ryu just lifted up several 100 pounds of fish with his bare hands. Oh, that's insane. Yeah, that's a lot of fish. That is an insane amount of fish. And I fully didn't realize in the manga how insane it is that one person could lift all of that by himself. That was the end of chapter 96. We're up to 97 now. Like last few episodes, seems to be, one chapter per half episode. That seems to be the flow they're going with so far. It is actually pretty ironic that, just like literally 2 episodes ago, they're like, oh, we're so sick of fish. We eat fish all day, 24/7. And now they're like, hey, look, we can get you even more fish than before. Huzzah! Love it, absolutely love it. Oh, right now these two have had wildly, wildly different ideas about how to use this technology. Yes, Jinro is a complete and absolute pervert, while Chrome is a member of the Kingdom of Science. Also, I think this is actually true. It's something I heard a while ago. You can't use X-ray to actually look through a person's clothes. That'd be insane. But people didn't know that, and for a lot of years, there was actually a law on the book preventing people from being allowed to wear X-ray glasses. Oh, I love how utterly, utterly stupid people are sometimes. It really is beautiful. That sounds like it's a pretty huge undertaking right there. I mean, they're still more or less in the Stone Age. Okay, they're in the early ages of the Industrial Revolution, but this is still, well ahead of where they are scientifically speaking. Yeah, up to this point in the series, they've been relying on, iron sand they've been able to scoop out of the bottom of the river, but they're kind of out of iron sand. Even if they kept going with this method for, further and further up the river, it is incredibly slow, and there's no way they can, find enough to actually build an engine for a ship within a, reasonable amount of time. Thankfully, Chrome has a plan. Huzzah! Yes, Chrome just made himself a freaking goddamn metal detector. And this is probably up to this point the most impressive thing he has done in the story. Okay, maybe, him like crying and sweating into the helmet so that he could set magma on fire was slightly more impressive, but scientifically speaking, this is the most impressive thing he has done. He took the, bare minimum that Senku explained to him and thought, hey, what if I use A and B to make C? And it actually freaking worked! Huzzah! Good for him. Okay, so this is exactly how it looks in the manga, and even back then, I have really no idea what this giant contraption is. It seems to be relying on, the weight of the people to hit pickaxes against the ground over and over again. It's weird. I'm sure there's some sort of scientific basis for this, but yeah, I have no idea exactly what this thing is based off of. Oh, good for Chrome. He deserves a win. He absolutely deserves a win right here. I mean, that's another good point you should probably mention. Senku's scientific inventions, they almost always work, even though there are a lot of times where they really, really shouldn't. And I think that's the point of the series where reality is stretched a bit too much, though it makes sense story-wise. I mean, how entertaining would it be to watch Senku, fail at every invention the first 3 times he's doing it, and to have to go back to the drawing board over and over and over again. It's much more entertaining for Senku to be like, hey, that worked in the first try! Huzzah! I love everyone's claiming, like, this is so heavy, we can't lift it! And Kawaku just standing there with a giant, sack of iron ore on her back, looking completely and totally unperturbed. Oh, that girl is a gorilla right there, and I still love it. And, just speaking of gorillas, I mean, this old dude was carrying around these giant iron loads by himself, and 4 people just came in to carry them. 4 people just came in to take them from him. To take what he was carrying by himself with ease. This man is superhuman right here, and I fully support it. Okay, they are definitely changing the order here. This didn't happen until the start of next chapter, and that's a first one for this season. They've been going fairly in order, though I guess it makes sense to, have the asphalt and the road paving this episode to show, the distribution network across all of Japan. Huzzah! It's also mentioned, not sure if the anime's gonna mention here, that the Ryu Trading Company actually got started in the Edo period, carrying things around on ship, which is one of the reasons why Japan is so prosperous, because even though they don't have a lot of materials, they're a very skinny island that is very long, and that allows people to get, basically anywhere they want fairly quickly. Also, yeah, I just can't... I mean, Jen's right. Jen is fully right to be shocked here. Asphalt in the Stone Age. That is insane. That is fully insane. I know we just got out of, a giant mine they were making, but asphalt is such a sign of the modern day, of our modern age, that seeing it here is almost mind-boggling. Or, just fully mind-boggling. Also, they are cooking oil right here. I feel like Senku needs more of a, protection than just, a cloth face mask. He has a full-on gas mask. Why is he not using that right here? Oh, everyone here is a freaking superhuman, and I so love it. And is their chant really gory, gory, gory gorilla? Oh, that is so absolutely perfect. I mean, Jinro is very arrogant, and like Kenro said, he hasn't rowed a boat in a very, very long time, but he's also right to be. They are village people. They have lived on the water for literal centuries. Of course, they know how to get things, around on boats. That's the one thing they know really freaking well. Well, that and fishing. And of course, Ryu just pops in to brag about his company, how they got their founding, by moving things across the water. Even though he is not in this scene at all. I mean, like I just said before, they're rearranging things, and this conversation is supposed to happen while they're all still in the cave, not by the boat, where Ryu should not have been, at all. Yeah, the Nanami Corp tried very hard to make Ryu basically a monk, and his response was, no, I'm gonna be as wild and insane and greedy as I freaking want. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, even as a kid, that big, confident, cocky smile. Oh, that's perfect. Wow, okay. I love it. I fully love it. Shredding his books, ripping off his shirt, holding up a model of a boat. Oh, he is a wild one, that Ryu. Fully wild. No one will follow a leader who isn't having fun. That's a pretty good philosophy right there. I like it. Yep, they've got a freaking goddamn minecart now, because of course they do. I mean, it's probably the best way to, get materials throughout this mine. That's why they have minecarts in the first place. Huzzah! Though I don't think minecarts are supposed to, actually leave the track like that. That seems, fairly dangerous. Oh, I love this world. Also, do they bother to invent, brakes for the minecart? Because that seems fairly important. Oh, that's pretty cool. Next episode, Science Vessel Perseus. Oh, that's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be a really, really fun one. Alright, so overall, this is a really good episode. Like I said before, it's the first episode that tried to, cover 3 chapters, or mostly 3 chapters. It covered the beginning of chapter 98, but not the entirety of it. The rest of 98 is fully focused on Ryu, and I'm very excited to see, his whole backstory and all that, as well as the science ship, the Perseus. Oh, that is going to be such an absolutely amazing thing to see animated. But as I was saying, this episode brought in some of Chapter 98, showed the road Senku built before he actually built the minecars, just to really, hammer home the image of this giant transportation network they're building. There are things at every part of the camp, and they need to transport it to every other part of the Kingdom of Science, or I guess the Empire of Science now. Oh, this is amazing. I so love it. I so just love how this world is growing, how, everything they made leads to something else, something insane, massive invention that fully changes the world. And Chrome is handling all of this incredibly well. I mean, like I said before, he used to be a magician using the powers of magic to change the color of fire, but now he's a full-on scientist. He can see a radar and think, I could probably use this to make a metal detector. And he did, and it actually freaking worked. Good for him. But anyway, though, please let me know what you think down below. What do you think of this episode? What do you think of the transition from manga to anime? Like I said, it's mostly been one for one. This one rearranged things a little bit, but I really like the flow of it. Which version do you think is better for teaching people science, the manga or the anime? I mean, like I said, the manga is better for, slowly reading and rereading on a part you don't fully understand, but the anime actually shows you how every piece moves, and that is, very beneficial for learning. Not sure which one is better, but let me know what you think down below, and until next time, peace!